It's time for another Dirt Daily, and I am back in the shop. I was out of town for a couple of days, and I'm back at the shop getting ready to work on the Land Rover some more, finishing up this bumper. And I did a few videos before I left, kind of, I don't know, almost pseudo-motivational welding videos where I was like, hey, just take your time, have fun with it. Don't build like a roll cage or your suspension first. Start with a bumper. And one of the things that I completely forgot was Fred's rule of welding. And actually there's lots of rules of welding. Like when you're welding, try not to have your face in the smoke from the weld. It's not really the best stuff for you. Make sure the metal is clean. Don't just try and weld a bunch of rusty junk together. Hit it with a grinder and clean up the joint. Get the joint as tight as possible before you weld it, so that it's a really strong joint. But my number one biggest Fred's rule of welding is when you're welding something, and for example, this bumper, if there's a joint that is like up underneath and hidden, that weld will be perfect. Like you will be standing on one foot blindfolded and you'll be able to get that weld perfect. If there's a weld right here, right on top of the bumper, where everybody's gonna see it, that's the weld where you'll be welding and you'll have porosity, or in my case, you'll run out of welding gas and you'll have a terrible weld. And everybody will be able to see it. They'll be like, oh, you're a lousy welder. And it's like, well, hey, I just didn't realize nope, that's the one. Fred's rule of welding, the most visible weld will be your worst weld on the project. But that was also why I stopped welding on this thing, and this is the last thing I did before I left. I still need to weld these tow hooks on, and I have to go over how I'm attaching it to the bumper. But Fred's rule of welding, don't be surprised if your most visible weld is your worst one. Now I get to grind that out and get welding gas and hopefully get this thing back together. That's it for this Dirt Daily. Thanks for tuning in. We'll see you guys next time. Have a good day.